Good morning, VFFs. Speaking with Sky Show. Surprise Speaking with Sky Show. Oh dear. Laura Griffiths. She's so friendly. That's what I like about Laura Griffiths. You know, we have this special guest today. It's Grump Day. And I think that's pretty special because you know what? I get pretty grumpy and I love the guy. Well, hey there, soldier. How you doing?
Straight in. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine. Yeah, I think you're ringing like a bell.
So, we are streaming to my channel simultaneously.
Yes, it's a new feature on the StreamYard, paid for by Vegan, of course, Patreon subscribers. StreamYard.
Vegan or vegan? Because I noticed you put Grumpy Vegan Grandad, vegan with Sky.
I misspelled it, and I corrected it on this broadcast, though. I'm glad that you are hyper focused. You see. I find like you're probably one of those types that sees the worst in people. So you're like, you misspelled vegan. You call yourself a vegan.
No, do you know what it is, Sky?
I have a feeling I know.
I don't know whether you've noticed or not, but I seem very calm and sort of level-headed. Have you not noticed my demeanor?
I noticed you seem like a new man. What's going on?
I've taken drugs.
Oh, well, that's.
I've taken stimulants.
Methamphetamines.
Yes, I have taken. Yes. So basically, right? Yes. I'll tell you the little story. So somebody gave me some medication, and they gave me a lower dose and a high dose. Now the high dose, I run out of the low dose, but the high dose is too much because I can't hear myself through the. So basically, I took it at 5 a.m. Great all day, but I was still wide awake at like 3, 4 a.m. in the morning. So it was way too strong.
Is this cocaine? What is this?
It's amphetamine.
It's like Ritalin or Adderall.
Yeah. It's called. I can't remember what it's called. So anyway, I went on Reddit because that's the great source of how to like formulate drugs. Yes. And I found out that if you put it in 180 ml of water, weigh it, stir it up, and then pour water to 70 ml, 60 ml, 80 ml. What's half of 180? 90 ml. So if you put it in if you pour 90 ml of water out, you're basically having half the dose. So that's what I've done today.
You take all your medication in liquid form, don't you?
Well, no, the tablets, but that's the only way to split it, really. So
you can't like cut it. That's what I was going to say. Why don't you just break it in half?
It's a capsule with powder in.
Okay, got it. I was going to say a tablet. We used to break tablets in half all the time in the clubs back in the day.
Yeah. So I'm very calm, very straight-headed. Not getting your little jokes now. You're not funny anymore because now I see you in reality as to what you are. Money joking. But I found out. I sent an email off to the authority that diagnosed me with ADHD. Yes. Because they were stopped from giving any newly diagnosed people medication. Now I got a return email that I found from ages ago that they sent me. They didn't even bother to tell me personally that they no longer represent the northwest of England. So basically I had no one helping me because I sent an email to them to ask for help. So now I've got to find a new sort of authority to help me and get my meds. And it's just an ongoing thing, Sky. Yes, Vainamoinen. I can say it when I'm not
focused.
Totally focused.
I think Laura's calling you Billy Whiz. Billy Whiz.
Yeah, that's
the guy who runs around.
That's the street name for amphetamines.
Oh, I know.
For street amphetamines in the UK.
Yeah, I know all about Billy Whiz. I used to say back in the day, it would be like, is Billy coming to the party?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a
And
whole
then
thing.
later on in the 90s, we used to say, he's coming. He's coming.
He's-
He's coming. He's on his way. He's on his way. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we
used to
used.
do all that.
Yeah, I remember. I lived in Germany, but all my friends were
Oh,
English. So,
what happened in Germany? Did anything happen in Germany?
nothing that I'd like to talk about with you. That's
Okay.
for sure.
Oh yeah,
Except for amphetamines.
So people are probably wondering why I'm here when I declared no longer. But what we've decided to do between us is the first Wednesday of every month.
First Wednesday of the month for a
We
while.
will do this. Yeah.
I just can't quit you.
But you forgot, didn't you, Sky? Tell everybody what you did. You forgot, didn't you?
I forgot. Well, I didn't forget. I thought that you knew that we were doing 5 p.m. shows and not 8 a.m. shows. So there I was reading the news, as is my wont, and I get this. Where's the link? And so I said, "What? Wait, surprise show! It's a surprise show. Here we go." Yeah. Well,
Here
I
it
didn't
is.
forget.
And it's streaming to both channels, which is pretty cool. But I've noticed mine is 7 seconds behind.
Oh well. I mean, that's okay. 7 seconds. What's the big deal? 7 seconds.
Nothing. 7 seconds is nothing. I mean, if we did a quiz, I could actually flip over and give my guys or the other way around. They could flip over to your channel, get the answer, then go back and answer
We
it.
could
Yeah.
do a quiz. We could do a quiz, but what would be the prize?
For you to quit YouTube.
Why not? I know that's. Do you think I've got too much? I'm doing it too much.
Oh, look at this though, right? We can see which traitors we've got for you, Sky. So, can you see the little link badge in the
do.
chat?
I see.
Yeah.
Vitamin is on your
He's
show.
on mine. He's on
your
mine.
channel.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. He likes me best. He likes me best.
Well,
Sky.
Laura definitely does.
Oh, Laura's my lesbian friend. She's my every vegan man should have a lesbian best friend.
I thought she was my VFF, but I guess not.
No, she's mine, mate. She's mine. The girl is mine.
She says, "Fucking hell, Danny." Well, has anything in the news really caught your eye? Are you really interested in the whole?
Right. So yeah,
I know you hate politics. You hate most things. So I don't know.
I hear Trump's in court
soon. Well, he's been arraigned. So we're gonna get more information about his accusations, the accusations against Donald Trump. But what's great is that he'll be fingerprinted and possibly a mugshot. It'll be interesting.
So what's he been accused of?
Well, it's related to campaign finance fraud, and he's broken many laws when it comes to the hush money payment to Stormy Daniels. So he had a prostitute. Well, she was a porn star, but he treated her like a prostitute when he paid her to shut her mouth. But I guess
it sounds like British politics every week, mate.
Yeah, except he used campaign money to pay off his lawyer in order to pay her to stay quiet in the weeks leading up to the 2016 election.
The Profumo affair.
I don't know.
Remember the Profumo affair?
I do not.
That involved a hooker, and Google it. But
yeah, but yeah, the problem isn't like it's not illegal to. It's not illegal to pay people to shut their mouths. It's illegal to use campaign money to pay people to shut their mouths. And it's also illegal to do that through the funneling. It's also, tax fraud as well, because you're paying a lawyer on retainer in order to pay him back without him doing any work. You see, there's lots of shady shit the way the money worked. And I'm sure that the lawyer went to jail, by the way, for 2 years. So the guy telling the lawyer what to do postponed his day of reckoning because he happened to be holding office. But now's his day of reckoning. We'll see if he can.
But do you know what it seems like to me? Right?
Yes.
They were determined to bring him down no matter what. And,
well, I don't know.
And I think if they investigated every president who was in office,
yeah,
and had a close look at what they did during campaigns and everything, they would find fucking skeletons in every single closet.
Well, they do that. I don't know why I keep on hearing this. Like they did that with Clinton. He faced impeachment. He faced litigation. His sexual exploits and his whitewater. I mean, he faced all that. Did endless depositions. If ever there was a witch hunt, I mean, if presidents are guilty of wrongdoing, they should be indicted and carried out. Face the full extent of the law,
like Prince Andrew did in the UK. Yeah.
Did he?
No,
of course not.
No.
But I think we should. We're not a land of kings and queens. We're a land of lawyers and I don't know, litigators. So if we're going to have somebody who breaks the law, they should be indicted. If I found out tomorrow that Joe Biden was using some kind of campaign bullshit that was, sneaking money from here to there and all, but the thing is, Donald Trump's a career criminal. His whole life, he's faced very little consequences. Well, now it's time. His dick got too big and he tripped over it. So I don't know. You're right. You can get away with a lot, and maybe if we looked into everybody with as much scrutiny as Donald Trump, maybe we'd find more. But truth is, we haven't found much, and this is the 21st century.
I'm above the law.
Right, you are.
Yeah, because I've got a certificate. I got it off a guy. In the pub. It cost me 25 quid.
What's it say? Hold it up.
I can't show you. You got to pay 25 quid if you want one. And basically, what it says is, right, that if I do anything wrong and the police come, I just show them a certificate saying that I'm above the law, and they would just let me off. And that's what this bloke said in the pub. Yeah, you're
like Judge Dredd. I am the law. I bring the law to lawless.
Hello, Leon Kootstra. Yes. Look at all these people coming on my channel. Yeah.
Yes. Perhaps they'll be kind enough to subscribe on mine. You never know.
I'm the favorite.
Well, that's clear.
Do you like me being still? I
like you anyway. Did you see the Did you see the thumbnail that I made of you with it was a blue rabbit, but he's actually a grumpy vegan granddad, and the artificial intelligence gave me that. Did you see it?
No, where am I supposed to see this?
It's in the thumbnail of this video.
Oh no, because I was just sat backstage waiting for you to come on and just have a little pre-chat with me. But like I do, I give my guests 15 minutes before the stream to just have a chat through and just talk with each other. But obviously you don't do that. You just throw me straight in at the deep end.
Well, I mean, you're a regular. I didn't really think that you needed so much hand-holding.
I don't need hand holding. It just be nice to have a bit of courtesy. You Americans are all just so blatantly sort of just assume, not even ask how I am. I might be like, I might have just fell over and hurt my back and be stuck on the floor in my crotchless Spider-Man outfit, and then you would have exposed me to the to the masses.
Well, I mean, that would make for some good content.
It would for you, but not
for all of us. This is streaming to your channel too. Everyone would go, and then some faceless goon would repurpose that one part out of context, and then make more videos of just you in your crotchless Spider-Man outfit. Content warning, trigger warning: Grubby Vegan Granddad is in a crotchless Spider-Man outfit. Listen, so let me ask you. How do you feel about the news lately with good old the orca being freed? What's her name? The Lolita the orca is being freed out of Miami. I think that's kind of interesting. 52 years in captivity. They're going to free her next year. They've decided it's going to cost $20 million to free an animal that's been in captivity for 52 years.
Right. Okay. So. She's been in captivity for 52 years.
Yeah.
And they're now going to put her in the ocean.
Yeah.
With no experience.
Yeah, they're going to try to train her to get her muscles up because she's not used to swimming 100 miles a day.
So how long does an orca live for?
I have no idea. It's a very bizarre thing to me.
I need to Google that. I need to have a look at that.
52 years. She's 56 years old. She's a 56-year-old whale. She has not seen another whale.
50 to 90 years.
Okay, she's not seen another whale for since the 70s. So it's like been almost 50 years since she's seen another whale. Her cellmate bashed his head in and gave himself an aneurysm because he couldn't handle the captivity. So his name was Hugo. Anyway, that happened back in the 70s. So she hasn't even seen another orca. So now, yeah, so now they're going to free her, and they're going to take.
It's a bittersweet news, isn't it? It's bittersweet. I wouldn't
feel like
say
it's
it's
just
brilliant news.
It's sad because I just feel like we couldn't make money off of Lolita anymore, so we're going to dump her back in the ocean where she came from. That's what it feels like to me. Although, the owner of the Colts, which is an NFL team here, he's really into this project. He's putting up the money for it, and the it's not SeaWorld, it's one of those other, abusement parks.
Right. So what other animals have they got at this?
Well, they've got dolphins, and
So
they're
not letting the dolphins go.
have you ever seen a show called Flipper in the You're old. Do you remember the 70s and the Flipper in the 60s?
Yeah, I remember that.
So where they filmed that is the place where Lolita is held today.
It's the same. Are they shutting it down?
No.
So it's not a win, is it? It's not a win. It's just a fucking hostage let loose. It's just we've let one hostage go. That's all it is. This is fucking bullshit, right? I mean, good luck to the orca Lolita. Yeah. Good luck to her. I hope she survives, and I hope she lives another to a max of 90 years. But fucking hell, man, this is not news. This is not good news. This is just a hostage release.
Yeah.
It's bullshit. It needs to be shut down. These places need to be shut down.
I totally agree.
They're horrible.
We need to get rid of
2 years in captivity. It's like this guy, Charles Bronson, in the UK prisons. His real name isn't Charles Bronson, but he changed his name to Charles Bronson. He's been kept in the system for over 50 years, almost 50 years now. And he did his parole hearing last month, and they're not letting him out, right? He only went in. He should have been out of prison. If he'd have served his time and behaved himself, right? He was a naughty boy in prison. Never killed anyone, right? Did a few sort of riots and all that stuff.
Just a few mild riots. Yeah. A little mild rioting.
But there's child abusers get out 45 years before him. There's child murderers have got out before him. He's killed nobody. It's just absolute bullshit. So it's not, I mean, I don't know how this is linked to SeaWorld. It's a bit of a wide scope, but yeah, it's just 52 years in prison, and no, it's not good news. It's not what it seems. It sounds good. It gives them a good reputation, doesn't it? Oh, look, they're being nice. They're letting the whale go after she's served her time now, but.
Yeah,
it just makes me sick to the core, to be honest with you. Do you want some good news?
I would like some good news. Well, I have a little bit more good news. I mean, I know politics isn't really your thing, but I've always felt like Berlusconi was was kind of like the European Trump, Silvio Berlusconi, and he's in the hospital right now. He's 86-year-old, 3-time premier of Italy, is at ICU in Milan, and I'd like to say that my heart goes out to his family, but I have to say that he's a pretty evil guy, and I think it's.
Why is he evil?
Well, he faced child fiddling charges. He
was he found guilty?
He was never found guilty of anything.
So he didn't do it then, did he?
Yeah, I think that's how that works. Yes.
Yeah, of course it is. That's how justice works, Sky.
Yeah, totally. You're right.
Would you be saying that about me if I went to court for child fiddling? Would you be saying, you wouldn't. You'd say, no, he's been found not guilty. He hasn't done it.
If you owned all of the media in the entire country that you live in, and had some other, who were constantly undermining the political, democracy, I'd say, maybe, maybe.
You think he got away with it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think he got away with it. I think that that's kind of what Berlusconi's did. He just kept getting away with it, and he's a media mogul turned politician, and
sounds familiar. Yeah, sounds exactly familiar.
Yeah, he's a very interesting case. And most recently, he has made waves with a handful of comments about his old friend, Russian President Vladimir Putin, boasting the two had exchanged birthday greetings and blaming Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky for the war. Berlusconi's comments have irked the pro-Ukrainian Meloni government. I mean, the guy's just always in this type of he's always in the soup. He's always doing something. And I remember when I lived in Europe, he was in charge and then he got ousted and then he was in charge again, then he was ousted again, he was in charge again. Yeah, I think Berlusconi is a really good example of a politician that could always make a comeback. Yeah. Anyway, what's your good news?
Yeah, it's a surprise.
It's
stream.
a surprise stream, Vegan Stallion.
Surprise stream. Yes, people.
Yeah.
I keep going on about TikTok. I always mention TikTok. TikTok's an amazing.
You love
amazing
TikTok.
thing. I love TikTok. If you can just share that screen.
Oh, I thought
I'm only going to play. I'm only going to play you for a second. So this.
Why food that looks like it?
Outside a gas chamber, you can hear the pigs screaming.
Why
in the background.
wouldn't I? I love the taste and texture of meat. So there's alternatives there. I mean, don't you? What about pescatarian? Go and watch Seaspiracy.
So,
I was pescatarian for a while.
So that is me on TikTok.
Yeah.
Outside a gas chamber that I do every time I go to a vigil.
Yes.
And I get a lot of comments from people saying, what are you doing there? What's the point? What's the point? What's the point? Why are you doing it? What's the point?
Yeah.
Okay. And I always say to them, look, if I do these streams and one person goes vegan because of these streams, then
time well spent.
I'm a happy man.
Yeah.
So if you just want to flip that up.
Yeah.
So this says he's replying to someone because he talked about how he's been vegan for a month. Feel great. So many alternatives available. The live you did at the Pig Slaughterhouse is what changed me. It's a win.
That is a win.
It's a win, and I don't know how many more people have done that.
Probably plenty. And I mean, who knows how many seeds you planted? It doesn't matter if you're the last one or the first one. You're planting those seeds and getting people to rethink the status quo. I think that's fantastic.
Laura says that you've got an amazing PA. So Laura, God bless her, she comes onto the lives when I go live and she screen records the lives so I can actually repost them. Because what happens on TikTok is if you save your live stream and then repost it, it doesn't play the comments.
The comments, right.
So it's all out of context. So I'm basically just talking to myself, which looks pretty weird.
Yeah, it does. Good thing Laura's there. You know, Laura Griffiths, she's a friendly vegan and she's always she's there for the animals. You know, are you ready for everyone? The new thing coming down the pike is that screaming tomatoes. Have you heard about the screaming tomatoes and how there's a new study with a new type of microphone that can record tomatoes screaming? Actually, they're not screaming. They're like popping and hissing, I guess, when people cut them, and that they increase when they are being cut. It increases when they're being cut as a sign of stress on the plant. If you go to any of the comments of these videos, it says, vegans, where are you, huh? How come all you vegans are eating tomatoes? So,
my opinion on that, right, is if you're fucking stupid enough, right, tomato, if you're stupid enough to be on this planet for multi-millions of years and you haven't fucking evolved legs or defense mechanisms to run away from predators, you deserve everything you get. Thank you, good night from a vegan.
It's funny because I think that it's such an anthropomorphic way of looking at what the tomato's doing.
You know, they've done. Sorry to interrupt, mate, but they have done studies, right? And they've shown tree roots like intertwined, and a tree will send a message to another tree when it's being attacked, right? It's all it's all reacting to stimuli, right? That's all it is. It
Right.
isn't a form of intelligence, but many of the plants on this planet are designed to be eaten and actually promote being eaten.
Like the
by
tomato,
animals.
bright red
Like the
tomato
yeah, and the
has
seeds go through you.
seeds
Corn
go
goes
through you
right
and
through
get
you.
planted. Right.
That's why you shit yellow when you have corn, because it's made to go through you, come out the other end, and be plonked on the floor with some fertilizer. Boom.
That's right. Just like the tomato plant is made to be eaten. All fruits are made to be eaten, and when you eat a fruit, the idea is that's how they'll reproduce. But I think also it's a bit ridiculous to be like, oh, they're screaming. I hate that so much. They're like, because a tomato pops and hisses with you when you use a special microphone. We think it means fear. No, that does not mean fear. It's not screaming. It's some kind of response to what's going on. It could be telling other tomatoes, hey, it's a party, can't wait to reproduce. It could be the sound of a tomato orgy for all we know.
If you get a sensitive enough microphone, you can hear rocks hum, because everything is vibrating at a rate,
Yes.
even solid objects. The slower the vibration, the more solid the object.
Right. Yes.
It ain't
There's
rocket
even
science.
cosmic wind. It is rocket science. There's all sorts of cosmic wind that the universe is a noisy place, and there's been so many there's this place in the desert that's really, really deep and surrounded by water, and they say it's the quietest place on earth because a lot of the cosmic rays and stuff aren't penetrating as much. So they like to do recordings of special things down there, like scientific shit that they need special recordings for. But it has to be so deep into the earth in order to be quiet, because you're right, the world is a noisy place. That doesn't mean that they're sentient. It doesn't mean any of the things that we are trying to kind of say. The claims that we're making about animals don't apply.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the word scream, Leon Kustra, doesn't even appear in the study. It was air that escaped from cavities, something more plants do. Of course, yeah. I mean, that's why gas and hissing. Yeah, well, they release gas. That means they're screaming. But I think that, especially because you are the one hanging outside of a gas chamber, you're going to get people saying, well, tomatoes scream, grumpy vegan granddad.
Right.
What about them?
So my answer to that is, right, okay, my justification for murdering sentient plants, right, is survival. If I don't murder sentient plants, I will not survive. However, try and use that justification with meat, dairy, and eggs. You can't. You do not need meat, dairy, and eggs to survive. So therefore, the justification doesn't work on that side of it. So fuck you, fucking idiots out there, you lot out there, non-vegans, right? Go and be friends with Sky, because he wants non-vegan friends, by the way. Yeah.
0 non-vegan friends. Anyway, I think it's also, if even sentience is on a scale, which it might be, that means that you would want to eat, in order to survive, the less sentient things on Earth. Those would be plants. There'd be the least amount of sentience shown, the least capacity to suffer. Even if you said, okay, plants can suffer, which they can't, but even if they could, I would think it'd be pretty clear that they suffer less than, say,
one last thing on this stupid idea, right?
yes.
If a tomato can scream, why is it not screaming at a rate that can be heard by people or things or animals that can attack the
Right, they want
tomato?
to eat it, right?
So what is the point of having this ability to scream when being caught? How is it a defense mechanism? It's not.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
So let's put this to bed. It's fucking bullshit.
Nobody
I
can
hate
come
it.
help it. Right. The
I've been
reason
having
why
it for
we
6
scream is
years,
for
man.
help.
6 fucking years. Plants feel pain. Fuck you.
Yep. Well, I think you're gonna have another wave of it. Just to let you know. I take a little issue with this. I deemed it a second world country. Second world country were the first world countries were the sphere of influence of the USA. The second world was the sphere of interest of the sphere of influence of the USSR, and the third world were the the ones that were too poor to make a difference and got bullied, beat by the both of them. So, United States, just factually, not a second world country. There's no such thing as first world, second world, third world. Now we call it developed countries and developing countries. But thanks. I don't think that America is slipping into a developing country, though. So I don't know.
No, it's not something that happens unless there's a major event, like a meteor hitting or a rocket from North Korea.
Countries generally don't slip into. I guess they could. I mean, but I don't think that that's something that can happen in modern history right now. So, yeah.
Leon Kusturi says insects are their largest enemy. Antioxidants are defense mechanisms against insects and bacteria for one. Yeah, and also the thing is that certain plants, when you chop them up, they release certain chemicals. Like garlic is better for you if you chop it and leave it for a while for these chemicals to intermingle. And humans have adapted to this, to this way of eating. And they're all defense mechanisms against being eaten by insects, the greatest predator. But it's actually better for humans that they produce these chemicals because we actually use them. Tomatoes are better for you cooked than raw. They're more nutritious for you. They turn this chemical when they're cooked. So cooked tomatoes are a lot better for you. That's what you should eat.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't eat cooked tomatoes very often. I like the raw tomatoes, but maybe I'll try the tinned tomatoes.
Yeah, let me see if I can find the thing here. I've got something else to tell you about tomorrow, what's happening tomorrow as well.
I just have never been like this health store vegan. I'm not really curious about like,
I did a lot
combine this nutrient with another nutrient, then you might get this other nutrient. I can't have time for this shit. I've been vegan for almost 20 years. Ain't got time for that shit. Never have. Right. Never have, never will.
So basically, tomatoes cooked for 2 minutes had 10% less vitamin C than uncooked tomatoes. So if you want your vitamin C, there you go.
I like vitamin C.
And those cooked for 30 minutes had 29% vitamin C. But the reverse was true for the tomatoes, lycopene content. So it's lycopene. After 2 minutes of cooking, they had 54% more lycopene than. So what is lycopene, you ask?
I didn't, but you could tell me. Lycopene, though, I guess you could get it in pizza sauce. That's cooked, isn't it?
Lycopene is a non-provitamin A carotenoid that is responsible for the red to pink colour seen in tomatoes, pink grapefruit, and other. It doesn't say what is it good for. Let's have a look. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
It's a powerful antioxidant with many health benefits, including sun protection, improved heart health, and lower risk of certain types of cancer. Get eating your tinned tomatoes, boy.
Well, I'll up my lycopene intake, but I will tell you, I was thinking about this morning because I knew I was talking to a more aged, more august gentleman today, and I was thinking, knock on wood, I have not had one health problem since going vegan. Like I've had a couple bumps and bruises and things, but like I haven't really had anything. I don't have any big blisters growing in the back of my throat like some people. I don't have any like.
Laura got one today.
Why are you guys getting
Laura
those?
got one. Yeah.
How are you guys getting that? I don't know. And I'm a little bit afraid of like it all coming at once. Like, oh my God, I've had a good run.
What's coming all at once?
All my health issues. Like I'm gonna get older and they're gonna come in like not in single spies, but battalions.
What health issues have I? I haven't got any health issues.
You've got a throat thing that keeps coming back.
No, it's just a little blood blister in the roof of my mouth because I drink tea or coffee too quick, I think, and too hot. Or I don't know.
Oh, you said it was so bad you couldn't.
Yeah, but right, if you'd listened to me, you would have realised that I couldn't pop it in time before it swelled too big and ripped the skin off the back of my throat. That's what happened.
You see, like I don't have these issues.
When they normally come, I pop them in time. It's just occasionally happens,
So gross, dude. So like,
it is gross.
Yeah, it's really gross. So I was thinking about you yesterday, Sky. It's not terminal. Well, most things aren't terminal, but they could still be painful and horrible and rough on you again.
Right, I'm running around. Right?
Oh, lycopene is also good for the prostate. For our prostate having people.
Yeah,
we're not allowed to call them men or women. Our prostate having humans.
Yeah,
They
but women don't have prostates, do they?
some women have prostates now.
they?
Haven't you heard?
No.
It's I'm trying to use inclusive language. I've been told
How
that I'm
can
not.
women have prostates? Only men can have prostates.
Because some biological men identify as women. So in order to not belittle that, we have now women who have prostates. Like Caitlyn Jenner has a prostate, I'm assuming.
Yay! I love it. I love making you cringe, Sky.
I'm not cringing. I'm not cringing.
Who's Madusek? Is he? Have we got a troll in?
I don't know. No, he's saying that he loves vegan bacon and stuff. I like it.
Meet Madusek. Hello, Madusek. Please, it's great to have you on. Is he on my channel or you're always on your channel?
He's on my channel.
Welcome. He's your new best friend.
He's my new super fan. Actually, he's he's the same guy that takes videos out of context and puts them onto the he makes shorter videos of me.
All right, okay.
It's the same one.
On top. Madusek, come over to my channel, subscribe to me and come and troll me, mate. I'd love to. I'd love to have you on. Come
you know
and
what Carney's
me,
about? I'm drinking Carney tears this morning. So I wanted to ask you, because I was thinking about you yesterday when I all right, I'll block him.
Don't block him. Why are you blocking him?
Oh, I don't. Very fine. I won't block him.
Leave him on. Leave Madusek. Unless he's spamming, leave him. Come on to my channel, Madusek. Come and subscribe to me.
You blocked him. You blocked him. That's why.
Oh, I blocked him. Oh, right,
yeah, you're telling me not to block him, but you've blocked him.
I
wonder why.
Personal attack. If it was a personal attack,
if this is the level of his discourse, this is how creative he is. He's not really offering much, is he? He's just like meat on top.
me put picture of chicken leg and bacon and steak and rib and steak and bacon. I'm such a loser.
It's like I woke up and I thought I would go to a vegan channel and write meat.
Look, Madusek, you put steak. Oh, he's so funny.
Hey, so your better half can't hear me right now, right? Okay, so I was asking the question a couple days ago because Kourtney Kardashian is 95% vegan, but her hubby. Oh, good, she's leaving. She'll be able to talk freely about this. But her hubby is been vegan since 2009. Okay. Now they got married. I don't know how long ago, but it doesn't make any sense to me because how the hell I could not be with a non-vegan, and I don't think anybody should. And I don't know how you are living with a carny and able to deal with that. Like, what do you separate pots and pans? Like, what's the deal? Yeah. How do you even navigate that? I could not fuck with that at all. I couldn't do it.
Yeah. Separate pots and pans, you've done it.
That's not doing it. But it's your life partner, and it's somebody that's supposed to be sharing your values and all the rest. I mean, I couldn't share a bank account with someone who.
You suggest what I should do then. You suggest what I should do, right? We've been married for 20. We've been married since 2000, 23 years, 23 years now. So you suggest what you would do in my position now.
Get in a time machine.
Right? No, seriously. Come on. Serious question. I've had my ADHD drugs. I'm a serious man now. I'm capable of logical thought. You tell me, what would you do in that position? Your son, your two sons, your daughter, your granddaughter, your son-in-law, your mother, your brother, his daughters, his sister, none of them are vegan. What would you do in that position?
What would I do in that position?
Fucking hard, isn't it?
I'd walk away from all of it. I mean, it's easy. No, it's easy for me to say something stupid like that. Like, oh well, I'd wash my hands clean of all of it and walk away. But of course, that's not really an option, right? It's
So
you're stuck.
I've got to pay the mortgage on this place.
Yeah.
You know, she works part time, I work full time, sort of.
I'd move onto a commune where a vegan commune, like a hippie commune, and disappear from modern life, and where they can't find me. I'd go off the grid. I don't know what I would do, but I don't know what I don't know. I think I would be so insufferable that no one would be able to be around me without constant.
I don't just sit back and take it, Sky. I
Well,
don't
so
sit
every
back
time
and
they
take
eat,
it.
every time they,
I say dead animals, rotting animals, heart attack. Oh, what was it the other day? What are you doing? Oh, I'm putting some bacon on. Oh, you're giving my son carcinogens. And then I said to my son, "Oh, you're eating carcinogens." He's like, yeah, carcinogens.
they all just think it's a laugh. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I would do and how to make it, because there's a difference certainly between someone who's vegan today and looking for love, and there's there's a difference there from someone who found love, started a family, had a life, and then went vegan at the ripe old age of 50 something. And so it's really hard for me to like put myself in your shoes in that regard.
Do you want to take ban Madusek? He's a fucking dick.
I'll just ban him. That's okay. He's not offering anything. I thought it'd be
spamming personal attacks. Go away, dick.
I don't mind the personal attacks. I mean, I get them for vegans, but
I don't think they should be attacking personally. I don't think they should attack people's looks or age or whatever. In Devon. In Devon. I'm coming living in Devon.
All right, I blocked him. Cool. Anyway, so every time it's just constant, huh? It's just a constant battle. Doesn't that cause you a great deal of stress?
Not really, no, because it's me who's changed my lifestyle, right? It's me who's reaping the benefits. It's me who's running around while everybody's like blowing the nose and coughing and on the sofa or ill. Or I've not been ill. I've been ill twice in 6 years. I used to be ill 3 times a year as a meat eater. So,
but things like this have been known to, social justice has been known to tear families apart. I mean, you have a real battle going on. I mean, when we talk about big stuff like the Civil War in the United States, I mean, that ripped apart families because half of them one brother might be against slavery, the other one's for it, and then they end up fighting on opposite sides of the war wearing different colored uniforms. I don't think we'll ever get to that in this.
I'm not saying that it may not go that way, but I'm not giving up on my family yet. Something may trigger them.
So they're a work in progress.
They're a work in progress.
So what would be your recommendation for people who are vegan already and they're looking for love in all the wrong places, and someone's saying, oh, they find a carny who she's a 10, but she's a carny, so she's back down to 1, right? Or what?
I mean, you wouldn't go looking unless, I don't know. It's a hard one. I mean, love knows no bounds, does it?
Mm-hmm.
You've seen there's Romeo and Juliet and all this stuff, and like Northern Ireland and Southern Ireland love affairs in the 70s with Catholics and Protestants, and you've got wars with like Muslim parents and Christian parents of kids who start seeing each other. My kids aren't vegan unless they're eating at my house. We let them choose what to do. We also educate them on the benefits of the plants. So it's the same situation as me, Sky. It's no different.
But you mentioned the Protestant and Catholics. Like, if I were Protestant or Catholic, I'd say just choose another one. We don't need the turmoil. Like, we don't need the hatred. We don't need the bombs.
Yeah, it's easy to say.
Don't date non-vegans.
I'm dating someone who is not vegan but respects my choice and eats vegan. When we are together, we shall see what happens. Well, there again, it's it's a work in progress, and don't ever let anybody tell you any different. right? You do what you've got to do. If you fall in love with someone and you think they're going to turn vegan, then go for it. Eventually, they've got to, haven't they? If it's real love, it's a good way of testing how much they love you.
Yeah.
It's a good way of testing that. That is, well, if you love me, you'll go vegan. Well, there you go. If they don't, there's your answer. You're not wasting your time, are you? So, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah, I would have a hard time being like, oh, let's I couldn't be with a serious relationship with someone who didn't at least didn't meet the moral baseline. And when I think about the moral baseline, I put a bunch of people in the bucket below the moral baseline. I mean, to me, someone who's a murderer, an unrehabilitated, an unrehabilitated, I don't know, someone who has not been rehabilitated, a murderer who's actively, wouldn't date them. Someone who is a child molester, I wouldn't date them. If someone is, I don't know, a carny, someone who's eating animals, I wouldn't date them. And I know that your situation is, different, but if you're dating someone and they're not meeting your moral baseline, I don't know. I don't see a future there. And I don't see. I went on a rant. I'm like, don't share your bank account information with people who are not vegan. Don't sign a lease with someone who isn't vegan. Like, if you're just dating and going out on the weekend or something, whatever, man. Who am I to judge? But like, don't make it serious with a non-vegan.
It is a tough one. I mean, we live in a society where it's a normality and it's not seen. I mean, we can go along this. I wouldn't date a murderer. I wouldn't date a child molester. I wouldn't, but this is different, right? In our eyes, it's the same, but in society, it's a normality. It's not illegal. It's not.
Right, but in a society, we have determined, we have taken the stance that we are abnormal and that we're not going to be participating in that.
Oh, that guy was on my channel. That was a mistake, weren't it? So I hope my
I don't know. It said that I blocked him. Joanna said that she blocked him. It doesn't matter. Who cares?
Yeah, but he's on my channel, so someone needs to block him on my channel. So I think Vinemoinen is an admin on my channel, so he can block him.
They were on my personal channell. They might have been on Skyjack Morgan.
Oh, they could have done.
Because we're right now going to 6 different locations right now. So this will be a great what great content we're creating, bitching about a troll. But I think that like the topic is an interesting one, and I don't know. There's with new apps like Vegly app and the rest. There's new ways to meet other vegans.
Yeah, but the Vegly app, you've got to have the people on there. It's like,
you got to start somewhere.
Yeah, of course you've got to start somewhere. But I think if you're gonna try and go down that avenue, you better off just going on vegan groups on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and the social medias. I think that's the best way to sort of find out who's who and put yourself out there as someone.
Yeah.
News, right? So.
Yeah, you said you had big news, but you haven't. Should I add it?
Share it. So tomorrow, there's a special vigil outside Pilgrim's Pride meets Slaughterhouse, the slaughterhouse where I do all the vigils from and do the lives on TikTok from round the back where you can hear the pigs screaming. So tomorrow. Anybody in that area, please come along to the vigil, which is at, it says 10 a.m. to 1. I'm sure it's 11 to 1, but it says 10. So 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock. And we are going to be exposing something that we've been working on for a long while. And it is a UK first. It's going to be a media release. We're going to have the press there. We're going to have TV screens there, and we're going to be showing something. And I can tell you more. I am going to go live on my YouTube tomorrow, folks, at 10 a.m. or 11 a.m., whichever it may be. But it's a UK first, and it will help dismantle the industry in this country, in the UK.
Have you signed the petition yet for the mandatory slaughterhouse education?
No, where's that?
I put a link on it yesterday, but I'd be happy to find it again for you. Hold on a second. I'll find it right now for you. Here we go. I found it already.
Oh, Nolo's on as well. Hi, Nolo. Is that
I love
Steve?
Nolo. Yeah.
Is that Steve? Yeah.
Steve Muracha. Well, before we do that, I want to encourage everyone to vote for Earthling Ed's Milk. It's showing the dairy industry from a mother's perspective. It's very good. It's a short film. It's been nominated for a Webby. If we could win the Webby, and I say we as in just the vegan community, it would be, I think, a really great thing. You know, when people win Webbies, you get more exposure. I would love for this to win the Webby. If you don't know what a Webby is, it's an award show, an award group that hands out and has handed out since the early 90s awards for the best on the internet. I really recommend checking that out. Please vote for Earthling Ed's Milk. If you haven't already, please sign the petition for mandatory slaughterhouse lessons in schools. 1,000 people, or more than 1,000 people, have already signed. It is all about the UK meat industry. This is something that's UK residents only. I tried to sign it yesterday. I cannot. But please sign for mandatory slaughterhouse lessons in schools. Pretty cool,
right. Interesting. Yeah. Whether it'll get in or not, I don't know, because Parent Power may just block this. I'm not sure, but
Parent Power might block it, but to have it out there is such a huge deal that again, it's all about exposure. We don't need a lot of these things. We don't actually need to win. We just need to make enough noise to get people to think. But just like you say, if one person changes their mind because of it.
I mean, there is a flip side to this. There is a flip side, and
what's that?
By educating children on what happens to the meat, will it make them more sort of resolved not to bother about it? Will it encourage them to carry on being a meat eater?
I don't think so, because according to the article, the children, they're so into Peppa Pig. They love all of these animals, and they would choose the other way. Unknowingly, they are eating animals in most cases.
The thing is, though, what I struggle with that is that the kids, it's how they teach them. Are they going to water it down for them, or are they going to be totally honest? Because if they water it down and make it seem not so bad, let's say, hello, children, it's Uncle Dan here. I'm going to tell you all about pig slaughter. So what happens is we take the happy pigs off the farm, the free-range farm, where they have little houses and they live with their families.
Yeah.
And then when they're older, we take them to an abattoir. Now, in the abattoir, we put them
nice French word.
We put them in this. We put them in this chamber where they gently fall asleep, and then we kill them gently and humanely, and they go to make your bacon. Isn't that nice, children? As opposed to. So what happens is the farmer gets the boar and he wanks him off, gets his sperm, he shoves it up the vagina of the female pig. She has a litter. She puts her in a fucking cage. She tramples all over her little fucking piglets. Most of them die. When they're old enough, we shove them on a truck. They're frightened out of their fucking minds. We take them to this fucking slaughterhouse where they put in a gas chamber. They thrash around so hard that sometimes they rip their own fucking trotters off. They then hook upside down, stabbed in the throat, heads cut off and chopped into fucking pieces.
I think the latter would be more effective for children, but the but
you know what I mean? The difference.
There's a difference, sure. Now,
I be honest.
I just want honest education. I don't think that you should teach the class as vegan yoga mama. I don't know. I am not a parent, but lesson over. Another reason it could backfire right now, parents hate having others teach morals or lifestyle. I think it should be taught as scientifically as possible. It should be taught the cow.
Yeah, but that's the thing. If it's taught scientifically, they give them the best case scenario. They don't show them the bits where they wake up and they get boiled alive. They don't show them the bits.
Well,
when,
they should show
when
all
the
of it.
pregnant cow is cut open.
They should show all of it. They should show They should show the ejaculation of the bull, the artificial insemination of the cow, and everything.
They won't, though, man. They won't.
Well, we have to educate children, and I think it's better to do something than nothing. Take
them to a slaughterhouse. Take them to a slaughterhouse.
Well, maybe that should be part of the education. Take them to the.
Yeah, exactly.
Good example. Field trip, mandatory field trip. Everyone's got to go. I mean, we have sex education that's mandatory. Huh? I think it should be that we should have them go to slaughterhouses, and I don't know. I think it's important. I think sunlight is the best disinfectant. I think the more education, the better. And I know everyone's like, well, what about how I think that is a conversation we can have if we start educating. How we're going to do the education is something that can happen after it's a mandatory.
Ritz has put a really cool question there.
It's one. I wonder whether it's worth engaging children with the philosophical aspect of why we exploit animals in the first place, rather than go into details about how it happens.
That could work if it's done right, but it's about honesty, and it's whether the honesty will be there. It's like we teach about the British Empire. We don't tell people we massacred fucking villages of people in India and Africa, and we don't tell them that. We don't tell them that we massacred Aborigines in Australia. We don't tell them that we massacred all the Native Americans.
Yes, we do. Yeah. Oh my God. In America, we talk about the Trail of Tears. That's something that you learn in.
No, not in the UK. It's like, we're not told the truth. We're told a truth.
Right. It's usually a watered down version. Fair enough.
Exactly.
I mean,
and that's the problem I've got with this is. Where is it going?
But I would rather have that, like a fundamental something. Like, okay, when I was a kid, I learned about Trail of Tears, and I got a little bit older, and I learned about reservations and the horrors of what happened why they were on the Trail of Tears. Got a little bit older, and I learned about how Indian people were still and are still marginalized today, and why where the one drop of blood rule comes from, and all of those things. Okay, maybe that might have been too much for me as a youngin', as like a 6-year-old, but learning about, I don't know, at the age of 11 about the Trail of Tears and about how American Indians kind of shaped the country before any white people got here, and then what we did to them as what we, you know what I mean? It's one of those things where I think it builds on itself. So maybe at the age of 6, maybe age of 10, we're starting to say, this is what happens. Bulls, this is how bulls are taken out, and this is what happens when they stick the rod up the hoo-ha. And if it's too much, then we shouldn't be feeding them animals in schools.
Steve says it's not fundamental anymore. When we teach them, we use euphemisms like artificial insemination. Yeah, and we shouldn't be using euphemisms. We should say that we invade these animals' private parts without permission.
Well, that might be something more for adults. With children, we use euphemisms for all sorts of things, like poopy and all sorts of things. We don't call it, hey, take a shit. We teach them how to go pee-pee. Make a tinkle.
So the whole fucking thing's pointless then?
It's not pointless. It's teaching I think my opinion is that we give a substrate of knowledge so that we could build upon it as they get older, so that we don't have people walking around at 35 years old going, I didn't know this was happening. I had no idea. Like, they don't give them something to build upon as they get older. I don't know. I just we're talking about something unethical here. Going poo-poo is not exploiting someone else. Yeah, of course not. But using euphemism is something that we just do with children. I don't think that's going away. And as you get older, you use more clinical language. And as you get a little bit older, you start using slang terms like fuck and shit and all the other stuff. But when you're in high school, you use more clinical language because you're learning it. I don't know. But to teach them nothing isn't working, guys. Like, this is what I never understand. Everyone's always like, okay, well, it's better just to do nothing. Well,
no. That's not the case at all. That's bullshit. No, what we've got to do is, if we're going to talk children into abusing animals more by teaching them in a certain way, is that helpful, Sky? Is that better than nothing?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
No, it's not better than nothing. No, it's not. What are you talking about? Did you hear what I said?
You're saying that if we teach them in a way that
makes them abuse more animals, is that better than doing nothing? No, it's not better than doing nothing. I'd rather do nothing than promote.
We can't abuse more animals. It's getting really hard to squeeze more cow out of all the cows. We can't. It's hard to ramp up from here. This is why lab meat is becoming interesting for people. Not because it's good for the environment.
Children are the biggest purveyors of truth, and the biggest. They respect the truth more than anything else.
We need to offer it to them.
Children, yeah, exactly. We need to offer it to them. This is my point. Is we need to be honest. And this bullshit about it might traumatize them taking them to a slaughterhouse. Bullshit, man.
I'm with you. I totally agree.
Exactly, yeah. People walking out of Syria, children coming out of Syria after being bombed day after day. That's traumatizing children.
I think if we made it mandatory for teaching kids where their food comes from, or where animal exploitation happens, then some schools will be honest, some will be shitty, some will be great. You'll have a mixed bag at first, but you'll start to standardize it, and people will start asking questions. That's how it starts. You have to start asking questions.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always talking to my granddaughter about it. I'm always telling her, that chocolate you're eating, they kill babies for that chocolate. Well, why, Granddad? Yeah. And I tell her, Vegan Postmortem says, some people think chocolate milk comes from brown cows. I'm with Sky. We should teach people something. Yeah, I'm not saying we shouldn't teach people something, Vegan Postmortem. What I'm saying is we should be careful what we do teach, because if we teach them something that will soften the blow for animal agriculture and make it seem a little more appealing than it was before, like they fall gently asleep and murder doesn't hurt,
okay, but then if you told it might have the opposite
effect. So
you've been around children. If you tell children shit like that, they say things like, why? Well, what? How come? They're asleep? They ask you questions.
Yeah, of course. But if you're not allowed to tell the whole truth, the graphic truth, then you're really stuck. And this is what happens in education systems.
Yeah. The blunt truth. I totally agree. I think blunt truth is what it should be.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm not rubbishing the idea at all. What I'm actually saying is do we know how this message, before we start saying, yeah, let's do this, let's all sign this, let's all sign this petition, how are they going to actually tell the children? How is it going to be portrayed? That's what we need to ask.
It'll probably be a mixed bag at first, just like it is in the United States, where some schools have sex ed and some schools have religious education, even though, because from regionally we're quite different, and we do different things, and we can argue about that, but we can't even have the argument right now if we're not going to offer the truth at all. Like, it's kind of like one of my favorite. So when Bloomberg shut down a lot of people wanted to shut down Times Square to car traffic for a long time. And so Bloomberg finally did. He closed it down 3 days a week, and everyone went crazy. Then he started closing it 4 days a week, and everyone got. And then by the time he was done with all the closures, people were arguing about the furniture, like the public furniture to sit down at the little tables that they'd put up. And he says, this was the argument I always wanted. What kind of furniture should we put in our pedestrian zone in New York City? That's what we should have. what we're doing now is we're arguing before it even happens. Like I say, go for it. Teach kids about where their food comes from, in big, heavy air quotes, their food comes from. And then we can argue about how we're doing it. But we got to have one argument first and then the next argument, you know? We always trip over our own feet.
Yeah, we do. And I'm not here to trip anybody up at all. I'm just thinking out loud. And you know me, Sky, that's what I do. I think out loud. I knee jerk. I think out loud. I say what I've got to say. And then 90% of the time I regret it. And 10% of the time I'm fucking right. So
we have good. I think you're right here too. I think that we have good teachers and bad teachers, and we'll find out who's who. We can't even find out who's who right now because we're not even offering the curriculum.
Yeah, I know. But again, I just can't stress it enough. We need to know how it's going to be portrayed, because if it's going to be portrayed in a poor way that is either going to promote animal agriculture or it's going to desensitize the children from the process. We've got to be very careful, and that's what I want to. Maybe we should educate that animals get killed, and just start slowly like that. Animals get killed. These animals, this cow in this field with the big eyelashes, Daisy, she's called. She's in the car. She's in the field. She's got a little baby there. That little baby will get killed. Yeah, because we want to steal her milk. That's the sort of education I want.
Yeah.
You know?
Nolo says we can't teach it poorly and then try to jack on it. It won't work. We've done that on everything. Literally everything we've done that. We've done that on evolution. We've done that on religion. We've done that on the planets. We've done that on slavery. We've done that on we've done that on the Vietnam War. We've done that on literally every single topic. We put it into the books. We start to teach it. People say shitty, they say the wrong thing. Teachers make mistakes, and then it gets better over time. That's my point of view. I mean, we can backtrack on it. We do it all the time. We're constantly doing it.
Put vegan postmortems comment up there that they've just put up.
Yeah.
Dairy farmers bring a cow to kindergartens, give them soft chew for dairy, right? So I was on a show called Veganville, and I went to visit a dairy farmer, she had 2 cows that she took to schools to show everybody the lovely farm animals. Yeah. And I said, well, what happens to these cows when they get too old? She went, oh, they just go to the slaughterhouse. I said, do you tell the children that the male calves get murdered, that get killed, sent to slaughter? She went, oh, no, we don't tell them that. They don't show many of that bit. They just show the lovely cows.
Mm-hmm. And to be clear, guys, we're talking about slaughterhouse. Like, we're not talking about, look what it says. Petition for mandatory slaughterhouse lessons. We're not talking about just what happens with the dairy cow and everything's fluffy. Once you educate people about slaughterhouses and how slaughterhouses work, I think that's a very different idea. Let's see what the petition even says.
You'll have to read it out to me because I can't really see it too brilliantly from here.
I will make that happen presently. We demand that primary schools be required to teach students about the process of animal slaughter. They need to understand the realities of the meat industry, which can help them make informed dietary choices and hopefully reduce meat consumption and improve animal welfare and the environment. Children must learn about the truth behind the meat industry and how their dietary choices affect animal welfare and the environment. The industry often hides the pain and fear animals experience before ending up on our plates. In the UK, almost 1 million pigs are slaughtered each month, and reducing meat consumption can greatly help in mitigating climate change. Sign the petition to empower children with knowledge and compassion so they can make informed choices for a better future.
That's 1 million. That's 1 million pigs, by the way.
That's what I said, 1 million. I said 1 million, right?
Did you say 1 million?
I did. I think I did.
Improve animal welfare. We're not a welfare movement.
Look, no shit. This is put by the founder of Plant Based News, Robbie
Lucky. Yeah.
So we all know where this is coming from. Okay, there's no subterfuge or obfuscation.
No, not at all. But so it's primary school. So that's like but 8, 9-year-olds, 8, 9, 10-year-olds, just before high
before they-
school. Yeah. So, but again, what are they going to tell them about the slaughterhouse? Are they going to use the narrative, the industry narrative, or are they going to use the reality narrative? It's just
a petition, like anything, requires a lot of different steps, right? So it says at 10,000 signatures, government will respond to this petition. At 100,000 signatures, the petition will be considered for debate in Parliament.
And it is what we need to do. It is.
Now,
I mean,
don't
just
you
to get
think
it
that this
talked about,
debate would be an interesting one to have in Parliament?
Definitely.
So I say sign the fucking petition. I honestly don't think this is just all my cards out. I don't have much faith in the education system of any country, but I do think arguing it on the floor of the Parliament would be a very interesting experiment. If we can get 100,000 people to sign this thing, we might have some actual real debate in the public record about this, and that would be, I think, pretty good. Let's hear everyone's opinion about the climate change and all the rest of it.
Interesting. Well, tomorrow I'll have something to show the kids. Tomorrow we will have footage, and I can send it to you as well, Sky, and you can do the reveal of what we are exposing tomorrow. But it's going to be one of those. It's going to be amazing,
that's your sound about amazing.
Yeah, amazing. It's just like
amazing.
Yeah. Don't forget, I'm drugged up at the moment. So
I just have never heard. It's going to be amazing.
I know it was a bit stupid, that weren't it? It was a bit stupid, but
not stupid, funny. I like it.
But this release tomorrow is a precursor to something big coming in a few weeks' time. Something really, really big.
Okay, something really big is coming. I'd like to hear it.
Yes, I can't tell you.
Great.
NDA, but it's really big.
TBD, to be announced. TBA, to be announced.
TBA.
Yeah.
It is. So people, please keep your eye. If you're Sky's audience, keep your eye on Sky's channel because I'll keep him updated. If you mind, just keep your eye. I am streaming live tomorrow, so the reveal will be tomorrow at between 10 and 11 a.m. GMT +1. So yeah, tune in tomorrow, people, and you will see what we've got.
I love it. By the way, you can always go to veganofcourse.etsy.com to get really cool merch that we have, and cool hats and t-shirts, all sorts of things that were designed by me and other vegans. We also have veganofcourse.net, where we're starting I like that. Pogonad. What's that say? It's Russian, huh?
Yeah, it's a World War II Russian helmet, and it says "Go West." I don't think I should wear it. Oh shit!
You know, this is why I get in trouble when I stream with you. Someone's going to take this now.
It's a war relic. It's a World War II war relic.
Grumpy vegan granddad supports Russians during the war.
They went with us, and they went west. And
content warning.
Yeah. Solid.
Well, okay, so we have a veganofcourse.net where you could join the mailing list, where we do send out from time to time shit about vegan stuff, like what Dan's talking about right now. Patreon.com/veganofcourse is how we pay for all of our StreamYard stuff. Thank you to our Patreon subscribers, and anyone who'd like to help support the channel. If you find value in what we do, can do it there. You also get a discount on Etsy, which brings it back down to cost, which is a really good discount. If you'd love to check out, just reach out. Vegan OCCA, Vegan of Course California @gmail.com is my email address. You can email me. Meat emojis if you'd like. Please don't. What are you doing?
I don't know. I think my drugs are wearing off. It's really what's that famous painting? Is it Van Gogh? Who does it? The
Michelangelo, the Sistine Chapel.
Yeah, is it that the one? Yeah,
that's the one. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. He had a couple good moments. That Did you hear about how Michelangelo's David has been banned because they don't like the pee-pee showing? So that's what I'm telling you. Like, I have no faith in the education system. That teacher was fired for sharing the Michelangelo David. I was shown the Michelangelo David as a child, and I did not lose my mind. I was okay.
No, you weren't traumatized, were you?
No, it was
You
all
weren't
right.
traumatized, Sky.
Yeah, it was good. It was good times. Thank you everyone for joining. If you are one of Dan's subscribers, please head over to YouTube. And if you're one of mine, please go over to Dan, subscribe, cross-subscribe for this wonderful crossover moment brought to you by StreamYard. Again, paid for by the Patreon subscribers of Vegan, of course.
Thank you, Patreon subscribers. I really appreciate it because it does give us an opportunity to spread our message far and wide.
Indeed, sir. Indeed. If you're a podcast listener, sorry. Sorry for this episode. This wasn't very good podcast material, but that's okay. I hope you enjoyed me and Dan.
It's been very visual, yeah. But we have talked about some stuff. We do some interesting stuff we've talked about there. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think it's not so bad. And looks like Joanna has just shared the link for to vote for Earthling Edge short film Milk. Even if you hate Earthling Ed, please vote for the Webby. It'd be amazing to have the Webby out there. A vegan winning the Webby would be a huge deal. And please, put your feelings about Ed aside for a moment and think about the movement.
Who doesn't like Earthling Ed?
I always hear shit about Earthling Ed, and I don't want to mention those names right now.
I don't hear shit about him.
What? I think he's fantastic. I've got but you know me, I like all activists. I don't care what they do. I like all activists.
Yes, people, thank you. Thank you for joining on my channel. I do appreciate you joining at such short notice and contributing towards the stream. I haven't got any shops for you to buy anything. But if you'd like to buy a Russian helmet with Go West on and go to the Ukraine, you can pick this up at my address at
somewhere outside of Manchester.
Somewhere outside of Manchester. Please, if you can, take some time out tomorrow and watch the stream, watch the reveal. It is an industry disrupting reveal. I'll say that much. It is an industry disrupting reveal. And what's coming later is going to be an even bigger industry disruptor by a massive amount.
I look forward to it. Speaking of disrupting, we'll have another show on Vegan, of course, at 5 p.m. Pacific today. We're doing 2 shows today. It'll be awesome. You're going to enjoy it. Until then, illegitimate non-carb run. Oh, we have Jamie Logan on Friday. Jamie Logan's on Friday. She's from Jamie's Corner. It's going to be great. Bye, guys.